This is the high-speed horror panel. Despite what the title says out there, this is the high-speed horror panel. And the idea of this is we're going to talk about a very small subgenre of horror and thriller films which involve automobiles as the protagonist. So first thing we're going to do is introduce ourselves. I'll go first and we'll just go straight down the line. Hi, my name is Brandon Reed and I'm an alcoholic. No, wait, sorry. Wrong meeting. I apologize. That's next week.
That's next week.
My name's Brandon Reed. I was a journalist for a little over 35 years, specializing in motorsports. And I, these days, am doing a podcast called Print the Legend, which tells the history of the sport through various stories and fables and tall tales. I've been fascinated by this tiny subgenre for many years for obvious reasons, and I've been trying for, I think, the better part of 5 years to do this panel. So thank all of you for coming out. We know you have a lot of things you want to take in at the convention, and I just want to say thank you for coming out, because we didn't know if it would just be the three of us up here talking about this, but we're going to do the panel come hell or high water. Clay, over to you.
I'm Clay Sayre, and you're not. Because anybody that knows me, I'm usually in the maker's room, so I'm just a creative. We'll just put it as a creative, any way, shape, form.
Cash.
Credit card.
Bitcoin.
I'm Mark Maddox, and I will be an alcoholic by the time this panel is over. I paint and draw a lot of magazine covers, Blu-ray covers, book covers, do a lot of illustrations and drawings and artwork, and I love it. So, love, especially in the horror film genre, horror, science fiction, fantasy, etc.
That's right. And he's being much more serious than he usually
So far.
So,
Honestly, I thought there was just already that in the coffee.
I wish.
So, when you talk about this little subgenre, to me you have 5 pieces that you look at that are the equivalent to the Universal monster films. And those are the ones we're going to talk about today. We'll talk about some other ones on the outer edges, but these are the ones. This is your Dracula, your Frankenstein, your Wolfman, without getting too far into the splatter section, which comes far later. And the first one on the list is actually, the best that I can find, this is the first example of this type of horror or thriller, was a season 5 episode of The Twilight Zone called You Drive. And who's seen it? Show of hands. Oh, excellent, excellent. So, for those of you that haven't seen it, the basic idea is you have a businessman who's driving home, it's raining, he's tired. Who else knows what's wrong with him? And he accidentally runs down the paper boy. And he stops and he looks back in horror and then makes the decision just to drive away. So it's a hit and run. And over the course of the episode, the car basically begins to become his conscience. The radio will start playing in the middle of the night. The horn will start honking. He goes out and the lights are flashing. And at the end, spoiler alert, sorry, at the end, he decides to try and, instead of driving the car, he's just going to walk to work. And the car backs itself out of the garage and chases him down the street until he falls and the car comes inches from his head. And he gets up and the passenger door swings open. He gets in and the car drives into the police station. And that's the earliest example I can find of an automobile as the protagonist. Clay, have you seen the episode?
Yeah, it's funny, I just hadn't ever really put that and this theme together, that particular episode for some odd reason. Being familiar with it and then linking into all this, that's a good one.
Mark?
Objects, vehicles and stuff being deadly or dangerous. I was listening to an episode of, I believe it was Suspense or Lights Out, and it was anybody that got involved with this boat would be killed, die, you know. And so we had already talked, we were gonna do this panel, so when I heard that, I said, so, I wish I knew if there was an overall word for that, but it was really this, but just on water. And yeah, I mean, as far as it goes, I mean, Twilight Zone did so many different things coming at you from different directions. You would have known there would have been an episode like that in there. So yeah, it was very well acted, very well directed, and I thought it was a great show.
It's interesting, if anybody listens to Fun for All Ages, Frank Santopadre, the podcast, a few weeks back he did a program with Ann Serling and a few other folks talking about that. And so you were asked to post your favorite Twilight Zone episode. And so I posted that realizing, this is not going to be your normal, everybody else is going to go for the Monsters Are Due on Maple Street and Terror at 20,000 Feet, things like that. And but it was interesting to see how many people responded to it. So yeah, I really like that, and I like that idea. And I think it's something that you don't have to be affiliated with automobiles or affiliated with cars or anything to do with them to understand just that terror of this machine. Nice car. It was a 1955 Ford Fairlane, beautiful car, great lines, and all of a sudden it's chasing you down the street, and that's, to me, that's terrifying. I'm sure it was to other people. But the next time we really see this in horror is in 1971 with Steven Spielberg's film Duel, written by Richard Matheson. And how many, let's see some hands, how many folks have seen that? I don't think I need to go through the plot. And so we can just kind of get to the meat of it. There are two cuts of the film, at least two cuts. No, I take that back, there's three cuts. The TV version is a lot more truncated than the theatrical version. And the theatrical version is what we've seen on TV for several years. And it's very interesting to see. Does anybody have the Blu-ray of Duel? Oh, wow. Well, the Blu-ray is in widescreen. And it is, normally I don't like the notion of taking something that might have originally been shot in 4:3 and changing it. But it works. Spielberg shot it in such a way that it absolutely works. And again, I think he really nailed, he and Matheson both really nailed the notion of you just pass somebody on the road. Maybe it's a little more relevant now because road rage has become such a thing.
Welcome to Atlanta.
Yeah. And so now we see more of this, but the notion, at least when I was a kid, that you pass this truck and the next thing you know it's bearing down on you at 90 miles an hour was horrifying. And I didn't see it, until probably about 1983, because I remember WTBS ran it on a Saturday night, and their ad for it in the TV guide said, "Meet Christine's Big Brother." Wow. That's where that ad did it.
I saw it. That's when I saw it.
And so, and Dennis Weaver, and everybody knew at that point from McCloud, which was a runaway hit, and before that from Gunsmoke, and if you want to go even further back from Touch of Evil, is just perfect as this milquetoast, henpecked husband who, is used to tooling along at 50 miles an hour, and now he's got to step outside of his comfort zone and barrel along at 70, 80 miles an hour. And just the whole notion of it is fascinating. It's everything from the way that it's shot to the job that Dennis Weaver does to the menace of how the truck looks and the incredible stunt driving by Kerry Lofton as the truck driver. Everything just falls into place. To me, it is one of the best thrillers that I've ever seen. Not to mention the music, which is so reminiscent of Bernard Herrmann, it is not funny. Mark, you saw it originally when it aired, right?
Yeah,
Is that what you
I saw it, yeah. There was-
I did.
Yeah, it was a Sunday night movie.
I remember we did.
It was a big deal. I mean, everybody was talking about it at school the next day, but the origin of the story was that Richard Matheson and his buddy were out golfing, and they had been out there for a while. They hadn't seen many people out on the golf course, and the guy walks up and goes, "Look, you guys, we're shutting down the golf course for the day." And they're like, "What the hell?" And it's like, President Kennedy's just been shot. So they get in their car and they're very upset. And on the way home, they pass a truck, and the truck is enraged. They don't know whether it's anything to do with Kennedy or not, or whether this guy's just whack. But they had to deal with the crazy truck driver for part of the way home. And he got home, got into his study, and threw down a tablet and wrote, "Guy involved with crazy truck driver," and then later wrote a story. I think it was published in Playboy or something like that before it was filmed. But that's sort of the origin of the thought. But that's great writers. They see stuff everywhere, I mean, anyway, so yes, the movie was a huge hit. Put Spielberg definitely on the map. He had directed some stuff, but that was a surefire hit. And then they took it and moved it over to Europe, where they filmed some extra footage so that because they wouldn't let it be, 72 minutes or whatever it was normally. And now everything that we see has got that extra footage in it, and it's seamless. I really liked the stuff in there. As a matter of fact, I saw it then, I saw it one time when they had to stop it in the middle of it because Carter was giving a speech. They kept running it on national television in prime time for about a decade. And it was one of those where it was hailed as, I mean, it's the reason we got Jaws. I mean, let's face it,
Wait till somebody tries to write one with a Waymo.
No.
I'm saying
That's coming,
That's
that's
the next
coming.
thing.
I saw my first Waymo the other day. It's in LA, and this thing's going, and these little things on the side are twirling, and I'm like, holy crap.
And has anybody ridden in one?
No.
No, we had one almost run us over in a crosswalk in front of the Fox about, I don't know, what, a couple months ago? Came around the corner with
Patricia tried one.
What'd
I
she
haven't
say?
tried one yet. She said it is,
disconcerting.
it's so unnerving to give up that much control.
Yeah, that's what.
And she said it would be easier if it talked to you. She said that was the other thing. You get in and it's silent, and that silence is the terrifying part.
You need Johnny Cab. They should have put a mannequin.
That's right, Johnny Cab.
Johnny Cab.
Yeah, I mean, it really would if they had anything to, "Hi, how are you doing today?"
Okay.
But my biggest fear is, what was the bill? How much did it cost?
I have a question for all three of you. Do any of you know if the way Spielberg shot Duel was influenced at all by Mad Max? Because Mad Max is sort of revolutionary.
Well, Mad
Mad Max was
Max.
Yeah.
Duel preceded Mad Max by about 8 years.
It's very easy to look at. It's very easy to look at Mad Max and look at Duel, and it's definitely easy to look at Mad Max and see the truck chase and Raiders of the Lost Ark. I mean, it's just an extended version on tarmac.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think Duel was influenced by, like I said, Mad Max was
Years
preceded.
later,
Yeah.
The audience is starving. We've done the serious stuff. You know what we're getting to. You know what's coming.
But we really,
Well, actually,
I want
I'd
to
like-
see.
I'd like to ask a
Jay
question.
is just sitting there going, "Killdozer, please."
We'll touch on
Christine
Killdozer.
Yeah, but I wanted to see an adaptation though. You were mentioning the Waymos earlier. Waymo needs to design one of their cars to look like the cars that ate Paris.
Oh, right, yeah.
You were going to mention that.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I'd like to see Waymo with the guy, what's the name of the guy from the show, where they do the cash cab. I'd like to see
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
cash cab You just voice him and you've won this amount of money, you know, or the Waymo just stops and refuses to go any further and you have to get the hell out.
What do you
You gotta answer the question right
Yeah.
to keep
What would
going.
be funny is you get in the car and think, you're gonna die. That would help. I think that would help a lot.
Well, I know you love this movie. So he likes Love Bug.
So,
No, I'm not saying that, but you know, you always have these people that will take a property and make these cheesy little horror movies. Like the Grinch one and the Banana Splits horror movie.
Oh,
It's like,
yeah.
where's Love Bug as a horror movie? That's
It is a horror.
Rule 34 states it's
No,
already been.
where is it?
Buddy Hackett will start singing.
well, you know,
We need it, man.
actually, you say that, they did a TV movie in '95, Disney did. A rehash, if you will, of The Love Bug that starred Bruce Campbell.
It's
And
Enough said.
in it, they had an evil Volkswagen called Horace the Hate Bug.
So,
Well, we need that.
like I said, Rule 34.
It came to a terrible end, although I know the people that actually own the screen used cars. So there you go, it's been done.
But not enough.
I think Lindsay Lohan was horror enough.
That's horrible.
Yeah, okay.
There's a reason why you shouldn't drink and drive.
So, yes, so, quickly,
did not deserve that.
sticking for just a moment, staying with Duel for just a moment, one interesting thing, and we have no idea, Mark and I have talked about this over and over and over again. If you watch some of the VHS tape that came out of Duel, and you go back on the 4K Blu-ray combo because you get the original broadcast version of Duel as a bonus extra. At the end, when he's going through the final chase, Dennis Weaver has this internal monologue. It's like, I don't know if I can keep these speeds up, but I've got no choice. On the DVD that came out, I guess 15 years ago, on the Blu-ray, on the 4K, it's not there. And I can't find any explanation why. I remember seeing it on television with all of that, and I thought it was great. I thought it just helped build the tension.
That's the theater
And
that has the model.
no, because I have watched the television version, and it's on the television.
No, it's on the
So I imagine him there at the security screen.
Actually,
I mean, that's what you're doing.
Maddox and I went through
With
it.
your remote and-
Actually, Maddox and I went through it because we were trying to figure out if Spielberg had shot it with the intention of the big screen, or if it had been shot with the intention of the small screen. And every version that you look at, including the DVD, has a different aspect, a slightly different aspect ratio. So in my mind, it just throws it out the window. Whichever you like, you go with that, because that seems to be Spielberg's take. But that was the last thing really that I wanted to touch on. I did want to recommend, if you're looking for a version of it, I would get the 4K Blu-ray combo because you get the TV version as a bonus, and it's really neat to see how it originally aired. So, you guys have anything else?
I just wish they had the promos. That was something I really
I think they're on
remember,
YouTube.
is
I
those
watched
original, yeah, but I mean, I wish that high quality, you know, for a lot of these movies, that's how we remember is,
Yeah.
especially in the 70s, every day leading up to it. You know, we mentioned this with Salem's Lot and the
Yeah.
other panel, it's like 2 days, you know, 1 day, tomorrow, you know, tonight, you know.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Funny cars.
6
Yesterday,
hours
you
and
missed
13
it.
minutes.
Before we move on,
Next year.
anybody have anything to add about Duel? Okay. The next step in this takes us to 1977, and the first film directed by Charles Band. A little film called Crash! That starred the lovely Sue Lyon. Help me, Mark. My head just
Jose Ferrer.
Jose Ferrer, thank you. John Carradine. It's interesting because Band basically, and the dog from
Sultan, Hound of Hell.
Hound of Hell is on as well.
Well, who's the guy from Honey West who was her, not boyfriend, but the significant other during the show? John
Erickson.
Yeah.
John Erickson was in it, and who's the lovely lady from Star Trek? But Apollo showed interest in her. That one as well.
Giant spider.
Leslie Parrish.
Leslie
Yeah.
Parrish.
She's in it as a nurse, and
I just love the fact that he said Jose Ferrer, silence, Academy Award winner, silent. And he said Sultan. They know that. I've got this.
he knows our crowd.
Chairs are getting thrown.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
So, who's seen Crash? Exclamation point. Okay, a few hands. Okay, here's the basics. Sue Lyon is married to Jose Ferrer. It's just a movie. It's just a movie. And so, he has been left unable to walk because of an accident that she caused, accidentally, car crash. And so he decides he's going to do away with her. And as she is driving down a country lane in her very nice 1968 convertible Camaro, the dog from hell attacks her, makes her wreck the car. She hits her head, she has amnesia. She had purchased this little idol to give to her husband. Somehow it ends up as a keychain. Okay, we're not going to argue. It's a Charles Band film. And when they find the car while she's in the hospital, they put the keys in the ignition, and the little idol attaches itself to the car. And it turns out the little idol is actually the god of vengeance. For sale at a swap meet in Los Angeles.
It's like that tiki.
And then the 68 Camaro comes to life, and it is barreling down the roadway to get to Jose Ferrer, killing various people and causing mayhem along the way. Now, the great thing about this film is that it kind of has you wondering just what the hell's going on until you get 3/4 of the way through, because you have the story in real time, and then you have what you don't realize at the time is a flash forward to what's happening with the car. And it all kind of comes together when the keys are put into the car and the god of vengeance takes over. Now, you look at it and you think, wow, what outside the box thinking to have this kind of editing project, because then you go through and you see it all in real time, and brilliant, great idea. Well, the problem was the film ran short. And Charles Band said, you got to run this amount of time, and you need a lot of car crashes and explosions. More car crashes, more explosions. Now, what's the best way to do that? Why, show the same car crashes and explosions in flashback form.
Again and again.
And again. Well, they only do it twice. And in fact, what's really weird is the first two victims of the car, you only see that once. When the van and the two hippies get run off the road, when they go through the flashback, you don't see it again. No idea why. Maybe Charles forgot about it. Maybe that little bit was still at the developers. Who knows?
Damn hippies.
Damn hippies. It was they're all about flashbacks. But it was, it's such a well done film. And Jose Ferrer really steals the show because he's such a bad guy, you know, and you're ready there at the end when the Camaro shoves him over the cliff and then jumps down and squashes him. You're ready for that. You're like, yes!
Does it explode before it actually hits the ground?
No, it explodes after it hits his body.
They always wait about 2 seconds.
But every other car, it does explode.
Every car
There
explodes.
was a rule in 70s filmmaking.
Yeah.
You wreck a car, it blows up.
It's got all that.
Boom.
And the moment of impact is.
That's it.
They were all truly Pintos, that's why.
So, the weird part is though, Pintos were never used for that. They were perfect for
It
it.
should have been, yeah.
So, Mark, do you want to tell the story, or shall I tell it about how you came to find this film?
You handed it to me.
I handed it to you. Thank you. No, I had it on, they finally released it, it was out of print for forever. And I had looked for it and looked for it and looked for it. I had seen it as a kid on the CBS late night movie back when that was a thing. And then I think I saw it air once on Channel 36 out of Atlanta, and it's gone. So when I finally found out they were supposed to release it on DVD and on Blu-ray. For whatever reason, Charles Band said, no, we're just going to do the DVD. He's Charles Band, who's to argue? And so it did well enough to where about a year later he puts it out on Blu-ray. So obviously I upgrade, and I asked Mark, have you seen this film? And he said, no, I've never heard of it. I gave it to him at the end, probably at the end of a Monsterama or Hulanta, one or the other. And about a week later, I get this phone call from him going, how did I miss this? How did I miss this movie? This is really, really good. So let's go back in our mind to that day. You know, when you watched it. What was your first impression of it?
So we're having a flashback now.
In a flashback. And we'll flash forward later.
Yeah.
And then come back, at least once.
And then one of you is gonna blow up.
It was good, I liked it.
We know who's not making it.
Jose Ferrer was the best thing about it. The car part to me wasn't really bad, but Ferrer was surprisingly, for knowing that you're in the middle of a cheesy movie, gave it his all. He was actually pretty good. Sue Lyon gets injured at the beginning, so now you're thinking of Lolita, but now she's an adult, so you think, oh, what a beautiful woman. Well, she gets her face all messed up, and so through like 80% of the film, she's got bandages around her head. And now the thing is, you told the film in sequence. With it being out of sequence, I was like, the car's killing people already, but then was she driving the car later? And so yeah, it was good.
Do you have, about 2 years ago, Tarantino showed this at, the New Beverly, did he?
Probably, yeah.
He showed this on a double bill with another film we're going to talk about in a moment, The Car. And it didn't hit me until we watched it, about a week ago, right?
Yeah.
It didn't hit me until then, if Tarantino thought enough of this film to put it on a double bill with The Car, I wonder if that's not maybe where the idea of taking things so much out of sequence in Pulp Fiction came from. Because he talks about how heavily influenced he is by these 70s grindhouse films. And this was a grindhouse film, there's no two ways about it. This was a grinding movie, grindhouse film. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, it could be. I mean, to me, I thought it was a little too out of sequence because of the whole first portion of the car already killing people, and then going back and seeing her get in the car, I was sort of like, wait a minute, is that the same make and model of it? And so Quentin Tarantino, when he does out of sequence, I think he does a little better. But
Well, Charles Band is no Quentin Tarantino. No. Charles Band is barely a Charles Band.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
You have anything you want to interject here, Clay?
No,
Okay.
haven't seen it.
Well, it is available out there on Blu-ray. It's worth it. Charles Band does a great commentary through it. He's very honest when the flashbacks are going on. He's looking, you hear him going, what the hell are we doing here? What is this? It's like, you made the movie. Lie about it. Say it was an artistic judge. No, couldn't even do that.
It's easy to find streaming too.
Yeah, it is on Tubi, I've been told, by Jim Adams of Monster Attack. And I actually will be on a future episode of Monster Attack talking in more depth about the film. So if you like this, you'll get more.
We're gonna do the podcast out of sequence.
Out of sequence,
And
yeah.
blow up a lot of stuff.
I love the idea.
Thanks for tuning in today.
You don't get to have that, I'll take Killdozer.
People's iPhones will be
The
exploding.
trash man will trash Killdozer.
Yeah, are we doing Killdozer today? I can't remember.
No, we haven't
We'll
done
circle back
Killdozer.
around.
I've been saying.
It's not really a car, It's not really automotive.
What's it called?
Sure it is, it has a motor. It has wheels.
Well, one thing we
It's
can say
engine.
is, it's not
Motor's
high-speed
electric.
horror, it's sort of speed horror.
Oh no, something like that.
Okay.
Is this the
Very
guy that loves
slowly
the top?
outrun.
Are you the one that loves
Oh, we'll come back to that.
Do you have that 9.0 slabbed comic book copy of the Marvel version?
No,
Where you can actually see eyes in the headlights, you know?
I haven't.
those,
Back and forth.
I gotta say, those headlights were the goofiest looking thing. But it's gotta have eyes. Yeah, but did you have to give it Google eyes? It's like Cookie Monster. Okay,
But
so,
sometimes when you're a kid, okay, and you watch one of these movies, like you watch Duel and you go, this is a really good movie. This is a really good movie. Okay. But then you go watch Killdozer and you're like, this is, even as a kid, you're like, this is crap.
hey,
When's it on again? You're looking through the TV guide going, why are they showing this again?
Hey, I own Killdozer on Blu-ray. That's how much
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Well, it's actually a famous, it's a pulp story. I mean, it was an actual science fiction story.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember who wrote it, but it was.
Theodore Sturgeon.
Is that what it was, Sturgeon?
Sturgeon,
Wow.
that's right.
But it was, I don't remember if it was an astounding or
Yeah,
amazing
something
or,
like
you know, it was, what the hell science fiction, but it was, it actually had it wasn't, because I remember when it came on, I'm like, boy, they're really trying to rip off Duel, aren't they?
Does that mean we get to do the hearse?
No, be quiet. Sit back. Eat your carrots.
Won't you, Clay?
Okay, so while we're still in 1977, let's get to the movie that Mark Maddox most wants to talk about, and that is The Car.
1971 Lincoln Mark III.
Absolutely. A little bit modified by George Pérez. Just a little. Starred, I'm blanking.
Brolin.
Yeah, James Brolin, thank you. Kathleen Lloyd, who Jim was just in love with. Since he saw her in The Car, Jim was just in love with Kathleen Lloyd. Sorry as a kid. R.G. Armstrong.
Yes.
John Marley.
Yes.
And the aforementioned 1971 Lincoln, which may be really one of the most evil-looking creations. That car is absolutely frightening.
Ronnie
I saw Ronnie Cox.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
That's right.
Ronnie Cox.
He's
He was
like
voting
me
so well.
in this panel. He just has to have that drink. Yeah.
That's the,
That was one, I saw it the first time it aired on television. So I was just a wee lad, and it had a big impression on me. I had nightmares about it for forever. And I lived out in the boonies, so I'm standing, down on the side of the road waiting on the school bus. You remember every time the car would start to move, the wind would start to blow? Yeah, little 7-year-old me, and the wind starts to blow, and I'm looking up waiting for that thing to come around the corner. Can I outrun it? But it's really a film. At the time it was lambasted, and now it really has created a very large cult following. Maddox will sit there and tell you it's better than Star Wars. I don't know that I will go that far.
Maddox, it is very stupid.
You laugh. It is better than Star Wars. I walked out of Star Wars and I went, crap. So
Melanie Thomas Scott was in it. Roy Jensen was in it.
and a bunch of other names we don't know.
Yes.
Well, you know who Roy Jensen
So
is. He was one of the
seen,
winners. That's right.
who's seen The Car? Oh, good, very good, excellent. It is showing on the Universal channel on Pluto TV in rotation. If anybody wants to see it, I'm not sure if it's on demand on Pluto. It might be worth a look.
There's no
But-
demand for the car.
Usually runs on Spendula.
Yes, Sven Dooley shows it at least once a year.
At least once a year.
It's a lot of requests for that. For those of you that don't know, the basic is this big black car comes out of the desert and begins terrorizing a Utah town, including running over the sheriff. It's very interesting. Again, it's lambasted, and then I think it really found a second life on television because it was on every chiller theater. It was on every local UHF channel that did a midnight movie. I remember seeing it the second time on the Channel 5 Sunday afternoon.
for me, it was on the old sci-fi channel.
Yes, yes.
That's where I first really saw it.
And the idea was, the studio basically said they wanted Jaws on wheels. And that, yeah, that's pretty much what Elliot Silverstein gave them. If you watch I think it's the US release Blu-ray, they have an interview with the director, and he kind of bemoans the fact, I wish that we'd had CGI, and this could have looked better, that could have looked better. Well, all of the effects were practical effects. There's one scene where the car is facing off against two patrol cars, and it gets to a point and then turns sideways and begins to flip and rolls over the two patrol cars, destroys and kills the cops, and then drives out of the smoke unharmed. And they achieved that by the old Hal Needham trick of throwing the car sideways and setting off a charge inside. You have what is essentially a piece of a telephone pole that comes shooting down and flips the car. And that's essentially how they did this. This was all practical effects. And I think there's something really to be said for that. Brolin does an incredible job up against this thing as far as an actor. Ronnie Cox cries a lot. No word on if he'll be the next Doctor Who for that. But all in all, you've got a cast that's really committed to it. And it's a solid film.
There's some truly frightening scenes.
There really are. There really are. The sequence where the car comes through the house
That's what I was thinking especially.
and mows down Kathleen Lloyd is just, you're not going to be standing there looking out your picture window if you live out on the street quite the same way again after seeing that film.
Yeah, there's,
Mark?
but you mentioned that scene, it was good on one simple, well, because they always say, well, like in Jaws, you can't just, well, stay out of the water. In this one, no matter where you are, you're not safe.
Yes.
You should get in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's an idea.
It's, the
Then
thing
you find
is-
that it turns into like a James Bond subboat and then you're
Right,
screwed.
right. Well, technically, I mean, I love the look of the thing. I love the sound it made. It, you know, it was kind of a truck turn, but there was enough character development and stuff in the movie that I felt like I wasn't just getting, Zoltan, Hound of Hell, Dracula's dog, whatever. You know, something where you're actually, this has got plot and there's an abusive husband, and this one guy you get an emotional thing with the chief of police that you actually tell he loves this woman that he knows is now being abused, and then you get some value out of these people. You get some value out of James Brolin's girlfriend. There's a great sequence, and I have no clue as to what my brother did this. He had already seen the film, but he recorded the whole sequence, audio recorded the whole sequence where the entire school runs into the graveyard, and the car is spinning around and everything like that, but can't go into the graveyard, and she starts cussing it out and everything, but then the car comes back later and gets her. So there's value in the people in this movie. The only thing that I kind of look back later and go, the guy that was beating his wife, by the end of the film, he's kind of a hero. R.J. Armstrong is like, he gets the dynamite and they blow the car up and they're all smiling at each other and say, hey, the guy's a wife beater, now lock him up or beat him up or do something with it. No, not back in the 70s.
One thing I love about that, well, then coming back to our house together,
Yeah.
it gives that weird, even though they, like, one of my friends, when I actually showed it to him, but the end sequence when they blow it up gets weird. It's foreshadowing the fact that, well, the car can't go on consecrated ground.
Right. And it was okay, this thing comes riding out of the desert and it's indestructible, and why would the devil or whatever, what satanic creature or whatever has, infected this vehicle to do what it's doing? And it's just sort of like, I don't know, I don't care. I'm enjoying watching the car flip out of control and take out patrol cars, and the energy of it's real good. The beginning sequence with the kind of hippie guy with the big trumpet or whatever, and RG comes outside and says, blow that thing up your ass and be blowing farting music for a week or something like that. And then you're in the middle of that, and you kind of like that guy because he has to do all of his own dialogue, but he's a likable guy. He doesn't even take offense to what he says. Next thing you know, this car's like backing over him and grinding him into the dirt, and even the rotten R.G. Armstrong comes outside and can't believe what he's seeing. Is it as good as Star Wars? No, it is not as good as Star Wars. But Star Wars stinks. Is that I love this movie, and it was high energy. I love the locations they shot in. I love the what it was Utah. It was pretty much all Utah. The you know, it's just funny. You watch the bicyclists at the beginning get run off the road and fall off the mountain. I'm kind of like, boy, I really ought to travel there. You know, look at that. It's gorgeous. So
See Utah die.
yeah, and of course at the end it gets blown up, and you see this fiery, demonic-looking shape in the middle of it from the Miskatonic University. And then later at the end, the ending credits, you see the tire of a car going into the city, and that's the way it ends. You know, it's like it wasn't destroyed, it's just another one or whatever. But
So that's how they came up with the idea for rubber.
Maybe.
Demonic.
Well,
I
actually,
love the idea that somewhere in hell, they're like, we're not reaching enough people. You know what? Cars. That's an idea. Get on that.
Of course,
Get
now
on
you
that.
actually put
All right, the other thing is you're relating this about the car when he goes through the house, and all I'm doing is sitting here thinking of the beginning of Naked Gun. Credit sequence. Let's just put the car in there instead and have that sound effect. That's all you do.
actually, the thing
Hey, I
that,
do that.
the thing that I can actually make you excited about this film for is the music in it, and the music cues were also used in the Fourth Planet of the Apes film.
Look, I am excited. That's why I'm seeing it.
it's
Sir,
Just out of curiosity, did you see the sequel that they showed on Netflix?
absolutely not.
no, I haven't seen it. I did see the quasi-sequel when Homer was getting chased by it on The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
There was a car
it
too,
looked,
electric
it just
Didn't
didn't,
look like
it didn't look like anything that I wanted to. I saw the trailer and I'm like, yeah, that's been.
First off, it shows you how bad it is, because I hadn't even heard of this.
Straight to video. First time I saw it actually was at a Walmart, and I took a picture of it and sent it to Maddox, and he said, "What is this garbage?"
No, I saw the preview for it, and then I looked and heard what, normally, you know, you go and watch a film, you make up your own mind, but when everybody is saying it stinks, and the math is sort of in that favor, you know.
Yeah. All right,
I'm
so
just curious, and I wanted to maybe direct this to Clay, in a one-on-one matchup, who would win? The car or Killdozer?
Killdozer. I'm going with Killdozer.
That's
You know
bugged
why?
me for years.
Have you seen the Marvin Heemeyer documentary Tread?
documentary what?
Tread.
No.
Oh, has anybody seen the documentary Tread?
No.
Oh,
Tell us.
you owe yourself. It is real life Killdozer.
What?
Oh,
It actually happened. No, he
Yeah.
had the bulldozer. He welded.
Well, metal plates all over it.
He welded plate steel over it
And destroyed the town.
He was having issues with the local town authorities. And he basically, he did an A-team and welded plate steel
Big time.
over the openings, had enough of the slits so that you could see. And he basically drove this bulldozer through a city hall.
Yeah.
It was a real life, yeah, it was real
The
life.
funny thing is,
That's who I need in charge of my HOA.
funny thing is, if I remember correctly, no one actually died. It was
Nope.
just property damage.
it was 18. It was 18.
Doesn't the 18 usually weld stuff together and stuff to fight doing bad crap? I mean, this guy put it together and then did a bunch of bad crap, so.
Well, he was
Get into
pushed.
City Hall.
But no one died.
He
So
was
it's 18.
pushed to the brink by
He was-
a
yeah,
corrupt
he was-
system, and he had enough. And he had gone out and bought a D9 cat. And if you know anything about stuff, that's larger than.
That's a big,
It's massive.
So you're his lawyer speaking for him. Lucy, you got all the the trail of stuff that's.
I appreciated what this engineer dude did. If
You're
you're
just raging against the machine, aren't you?
It was amazing.
If you're going to do it well.
He
One more.
did it well.
One more film to hit, we're running short on time, 1983, Christine.
Thank you.
From the Stephen King film, the most well-known film in this little subgenre. I'm going on the assumption that everybody here has seen or is familiar with Christine. 1958 Plymouth Fury. Somebody was trying to tell me the other day it was a 57 Chevy. Nope, 58 Fury. Although in King's book, he describes it as having 4 doors. The Fury never had 4 doors. It's a 2-door car. Regardless, another film that when it came out, it was kind of lambasted, but has achieved its very strong cult following. It's, I think, the epitome of the high-speed horror genre. Especially with it being this older car, because it's just this monster coming from the past. And you could take and put that story really in any time frame with your same characters, with this same protagonist, and you can make it work. The only downfall of the film is there weren't enough elements from the book worked into the film, but we didn't have time for a 3.5-hour movie. Those didn't play in 1980.
It had a $5 million budget too. That was a $25 million film even then, the destruction that it did.
And most of it was eaten up by getting the cars. It's not cheap to get all of these 58 Plymouths.
And how many did they use?
25 cars.
Yes.
25?
Most of them were actually 57 Savoys and Belvederes that were
Retooled
made
out.
to look and
Yes.
retooled into 58 Furies. Because 58 Furies were rare, period.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that is a color that was never offered.
Yes.
That's a lot.
It's rare
I've only
now
seen the movie
because
once.
it's the movie.
But you know Plymouths.
Yeah.
So it's
Could have been a gremlin, that would have been
the only thing that didn't make it from the book. The only thing that didn't make it from the book that I regret is the moment when Christine goes into Will Darnell's house to get him.
Yeah, that was
But
pretty good.
I figure it was either a budgetary issue or they did not want to be accused of copying the car from Universal. But again, the casting was great, and right there at the end, that moment when you start to see that crushed cube trying to unbend itself.
Perfect.
Great ending. Mark, impact on you of Christine, the book and the film.
Well, so has everybody seen it enough to kind of remember it pretty good, or is it like I saw it once and that's it? So I'm at a friend's house, and have you ever told a joke and you and one other person get it, but there's a third, and they get mad because they're not in on the joke, or they should be in on the joke, but they don't get it? Like this. Go over to a friend's house, and he has traded in his Volvo and got himself a '65 Mustang. Pull up there, the hood's up. He's showing us the simplicity of the motor in comparison. And I said, why did you get rid of the Volvo and replace it with this? And he kind of looked up for a second. My buddy looking across from me goes, you don't know what you're talking about, shitter. And which is a roll on the bass line in the movie. And we both bust out laughing, and I look over at the friend and he's really mad. So anyway, the book, I read the book about a month before the film came out. I wanted to go through this King book. It is more elaborate. I don't think that the part with the destruction of the house, because a lot of it takes place in snow,
In the book, yeah.
And then there's things in the book like Buddy Repperton, his lungs have been punctured, he's rolled down the snowy embankment. The car pulls up, the back of the door opens, and there's all these dead people, ghosts in there waving him in, like you're gonna be part of this. And that's when I was reading it, I realized, oh, this is like the psychic battery of The Shining. It's the same thing, the same collects people, collects ghosts, collects souls. there was a ton of that kind of stuff in there. I think the movie, if I haven't read it, I think it's great. I still love the movie. I really do. But this is all we got. We got $5 million to deal with. The parts with the car that they had actually made it out of some kind of polymer or rubber, and then they pulled it with ropes.
Yeah.
And then would let it pop back out or film it in reverse as they pulled it. Was pretty brilliant. I mean, it looked really, really good, the way that thing reassembled itself. I can't remember who, was it Stan Winston or one of those kind of guys was working on it?
I think it was Stan Winston.
Yeah, and it was just gorgeous. I mean, the fight at the end, in the book it was a septic tank truck that was pink. And I guess they figured that wasn't cool enough, so they just used a kill-dozer. But that truck, he's just running over it and just keeps popping back out. And it was a pretty cool sequence. Good acting, all the kids do a good job. Soundtrack's excellent. Yeah.
One of the best character names ever, Buddy Repperton.
Yeah, Buddy Repperton. I even like the way that teacher is there at the beginning.
That's my porn name.
That's one of those. That's one of those ones where the teacher normally in that situation would have backed down from the bigger student, and I love the way the teacher grabs him. I'm not taking that crap from you, buddy. And I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna call the cops, you know. But there was a lot of good stuff in the film, so the film's still good, you know.
Full of beautiful cars.
It's a short one.
Yeah, I mean,
68 Charger, 68 Camaro.
It's under an hour.
Very nice.
Just under an hour.
If you see Keith Gordon now, I can't remember the name of the old actor who played the old man, I can't, but now Keith Gordon actually looks like him in real life. It's really
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It's a morphing, because I had a huge, little girl, fangirl crush on Keith Gordon. I do not now, because he looks like a wraith. But,
you need to go talk to Sam Irvin. You need to go talk to Sam Irvin because he worked with him before on Brian De Palma movies. Yeah. That's the next killer car film.
I have a hypothetical question for the three of you.
Yes.
Because I'm aware that there's someone who owns either the truck in the duel or a replica of it. If the three of you had access to all those vehicles and had a friend or family member who was familiar with all these films and you wanted to crank the shit out of them, which vehicle would you choose?
Okay, let me take
That's
that.
a great question.
I'll take it first if you guys want to jump in. I have a friend that I used to work with in radio. His name's Bill May. And Bill made the mistake of telling me that when he was a kid, he saw Duel on television and it scared him, and the film still scares him. I know where he goes jogging every day. And I would arrange for that truck to come up behind him. And I would love to see his reaction and follow the trail of whatever liquid he leaves behind. Guys, you got anything?
Too busy laughing, Clay.
No. I'm disappointed. No maximum overdrive.
Maximum overdrive. I'll touch on.
There's some love.
Shush.
There's some love.
Maximum overdrive. I'll touch on quickly because we're about out of time.
Sucks.
That is the Friday the 13th Part 12. Jason eats a hot dog of these films. That is what you get when you hand Stephen King a script and enough Peruvian marching powder that would have made Sam Peckinpah go, no thank you.
I was walking past the day that movie premiered, I was walking past the projection room and a guy had a turd and he was shoving it into the projector and it was maximum overdrive. It literally ran through the machine.
You know what though? You know what?
It was a lot of fun.
But it's still better than Star Wars.
It is so bad. That's why it's fun. Because it is not.
But what did I say at the beginning of this panel?
Who wants to watch mediocre? Anybody? Show of hands. Anybody interested in mediocre movies?
But that was me.
I want
That was
or I want the biggest piece of crap you can pull up.
But it was
We're extremists.
It's downward trend in his
Oh,
films
yeah.
from and Maximum Overdrive's right there in King films.
Something must be the nadir.
Okay, so
Yeah, but You know, look, is it any worse than that remake of Pet Sematary?
Well, I never saw it.
Oh, see, I got you, see, I got you.
Okay, so we just got a couple of, we just got a couple.
Your Honor, we're good. Okay.
We've just got a couple of minutes left. Anybody got anything they want to interject?
Where would the-
Sir?
You forgot, going way, way back, not necessarily a horror film, but the first, even before Duel, the monster car, Speed Racer. That was for Amy.
Oh, the monster car from Speed Racer?
Yep.
I thought
1968.
about that. That's a good one.
Yes.
Well, someone else came up to me. Someone else came up to me and mentioned a Czechoslovakian film from 1978 about a vampire, a car that fed on blood. I'd never heard of this thing.
Wow.
I watched the trailer last night, and it looks like pretty much a splatter film, but I'll give it a chance. I don't remember the title. I am so sorry. I don't think I could pronounce the title though. It wasn't Czechoslovakian.
Jeff's got one. Jeff's got one.
What?
Jeff, give us some zoom.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, zoom, zoom.
There.
Okay,
Yep.
but
Not a horror film.
Not a horror film. Horrible.
We need a
Horrible,
horror
but not
film.
horror.
If you want to get really technical, Turbo Team was definitely on the.
well, yeah. All right. Did somebody back there have something they want? I thought I saw another hand.
Does the Wraith make your list anywhere?
The Wraith does. I don't know that it's necessarily horror because it's.
Oh, it's not horror, not really.
But it's good. I enjoyed that one. It's definitely in the same vein. I don't know that it makes high-speed horror, but it's a hell of a fun way to spend a Saturday night.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Well, folks, we're out of time. Thank you so very much. I've been wanting to do this for 5 years. Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
Where's the mustaches? You need a mustache.
Dildos.
I tell you what, next year, if you can convince Ted, I'll do a whole damn show on dildos. I'm getting this one
I would
together.
rather see you do a whole damn show on mustaches.
Mustaches in horror.
Mustaches.
Thank you, folks. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Next year's photo op, maybe some dildos.